Imagine a time when the world trembled under the clash of two mighty powers. On one side stood the greatest empire on earth, Britain, whose flag was said to never set under the sun. On the other side was a group of colonists, ordinary people, farmers, blacksmiths, and dreamers who dared to believe they could live free under their own flag. From this collision of power and hope, a new world was born. This was the American Revolutionary War, the war that changed the course of human history. Between the 1760s and 1770s, America's 13 colonies were under British rule. They paid taxes, followed British laws, but every decision was made in London. Soon, a question began to rise in the hearts of the colonists. If we fight our own battles and pay our own taxes, shouldn't we have the right to make our own decisions? That question ignited the first sparks of rebellion. But Britain tightened its grip, imposing one tax after another: the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, the Sugar Tax. The people were exhausted, frustrated, and angry. Then came the tragedy in Boston, the Boston Massacre. British soldiers opened fire on unarmed colonists, killing 5. That single drop of blood became the first spark of freedom. In 1773, defiance reached its peak in the Boston Tea Party. Colonists boarded British ships and dumped chests of tea into the harbor in protest of unfair taxes. That very night, London thundered, "America must be taught a lesson." And so began the fire of revolution. April 1775, the battles of Lexington and Concord. At dawn, British troops marched to suppress the rebellion. But what they found was not fear, it was courage. The first shot rang out, the shot heard around the world. The sound of that musket fire echoed through history, marking the birth of liberty. The war spread like wildfire. The British Army was powerful, trained, disciplined, and equipped with the finest weapons. But the Americans had something stronger: faith, courage, and leadership. And that leadership had a name: George Washington. He was not a king, not a general by birth, just a soldier with an extraordinary dream. He believed, if liberty is a gift from God, no king has the right to take it away. Then came 1776, the year that changed everything. The colonies adopted a document that would forever reshape the world: the Declaration of Independence. It proclaimed, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." For Britain, this wasn't just rebellion, it was humiliation. The war was now full-scale. For years, blood was shed across Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and Virginia. The Continental Army was starving, freezing, and outnumbered, yet their eyes still burned with the fire of freedom. In 1777 came a turning point: the Battle of Saratoga. Against all odds, the American forces defeated the British. That victory changed everything, because after Saratoga, France entered the war, sending troops, weapons, and a powerful navy. Now Britain stood not just against America, but against all of Europe. Then, in 1781, came the moment that still echoes in history. At Yorktown, Virginia, British General Cornwallis surrendered to George Washington. The world stood still. On one side, the Union Jack of the Empire, on the other, the flag of freedom. The guns fell silent, but in every heart, the song of liberty began to play. By 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed. Britain finally recognized the United States of America as an independent nation. That was the moment history turned a new page, when a nation reclaimed its destiny and an empire lost its pride. This war was not just fought with muskets and cannons, it was fought with courage, sacrifice, and belief. Thousands gave their lives so that future generations could breathe free. Today, America stands tall because its roots were watered with that sacrifice. The British Empire survived many more years, but the American Revolution inspired countless others: France, Latin America, even nations across Asia, to rise for their own freedom. In the pages of history, this war is written in golden letters. It proved that true strength doesn't lie in weapons, but in the belief of people who refuse to bow. Freedom is never free. Every inch of it is earned in blood. So when the American flag waves high in the sky, each star and stripe reminds us how much sacrifice, suffering, and dream it took to earn that freedom. The British-American War wasn't just a battle of nations, it was the awakening of humanity itself.